Happy holidays, everybody. Here we go. It is time for episode number 515 of Three Guys Before the Game, titled by Hoppy. Hoppy's title today, Hold the Mayo. It's good work on your part.
I'm a man of cliche and simple slogans. So
well, sometimes
right
they
up my
work.
alley.
Sometimes they work. So episode 515, we are going to talk Mayo. We're going to get into West Virginia, North Carolina, a little bit of a preview. Hard game to handicap. Hard game to handicap because so many ins, so many outs as far as personnel goes. I mean, the way things are going right now, Kirchhoff may be starting for North Carolina at tight end.
I have, they are down two.
They're
right?
They're down four actually tight ends.
Down four tight ends?
Four tight ends. Injury and departures, they're going to start a true freshman.
Good.
So you might be up next. Three guys before the game. We're also going to talk a little bit of Mountaineer basketball. We're going to look back to the heartbreaker against the Radfords and look ahead to the Toledo Mudhens coming in.
They're not the Mudhens,
huh?
Tony. You keep saying that. They're not.
I
know you know that. You're just being smart.
Being a wise guy. And Nick Saban's alma mater, Toledo, by the way. West Virginia connection.
Always.
No, was he Kent State? He might have been Kent State. We'll have to look at effort that.
Let me see.
Three Guys brought to us by Comax Business Systems, keeping West Virginia's business data safe, secure, and efficient for 25 years. Comax Business Systems says, happy holidays. Load up on your green and your red toners from Comax for Christmas. Get your green and red. Forget about magenta. That's a whole different time of the year. Three Guys brought to us by GoMart. Go for good times. Go for GoMart. Get the rewards card where you save money on your fuel and your food. Triple rewards points. Got a lot of different opportunities up until the 31st of this month. We'll tell you how to get those coming up.
Kent State.
Kent State, yeah. Three Guys also brought to us by Lou Wendell Marine Sales in St. Albans. They sell family fun. They are the premier pontoon boat dealer in the state of West Virginia. They sell Avalon's pontoon boats, and right now they got an unbelievable Three Guys special on that Tri-Toon Avalon boat. We'll tell you more about that. There she lies. There she lies. Three Guys also brought to us by the Conley CPA Group, providing value beyond the numbers. Conley CPA Group spreads on stats coming up in a couple of different facets in just a little bit. So here we are. It's the early morning recording for Three Guys Before the Game. It's the 22nd day of December, and thanks so much for being with us as all of us kind of get into a deceleration mode with the holiday approaching. I love this time of year. Things just kind of go chill. I do.
Not really, but...
What do you mean, not really?
I think they crank up.
Yeah.
Well, you bowl boys over there, for those who don't know, the boys over here, they are the hosts of how many games total?
Bowl season radio.
I understand what it is.
There's so many I don't know. You may keep count. I don't know. I literally, it might be 12. It might be 310. I don't know.
So bowl
just show up and
Just
talk.
show up.
Just show up. What times it start? What times do we go off?
Yeah.
So there's a network called
Right.
There's a network called Bowl Season Radio, and we've got an affiliation with them. And the games are produced out of Morgantown.
Right.
And Hoppy and Brad are the hosts for pregame, halftime. You guys really don't do any postgame, do you?
No.
Okay. Or Phil. Sometimes you'll fill between games.
Oh,
but
we can fill.
they go in the studio,
Phil.
and these games go all over the country. So you have how many games tomorrow?
There are 7 games. We have 3.
Great.
This is Bowl Season Radio, second largest distributor of national bowl games, behind only ESPN.
Oh, great.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
On all over the country. Chicago, San Francisco, Washington.
Tupelo, Mississippi.
Why?
But
Bangor, Maine.
you know what, Tony? We really enjoy it.
Birmingham.
Morgantown. Because we got those 4
Duluth,
TVs on. We just got
Minnesota.
games on, just doing games, watching games. And you know what you get is sometimes you just get great performances.
You get great games. Like that last night,
games.
that Syracuse game, it was a terrible game. Who was that dude, 36 for USF? Like he was running around out there like a really good high school player that no one can stop.
Yeah, well, that probably wasn't one of the ideal games that he's talking about.
No,
There.
it wasn't.
You get like
No,
Western
I'm saying
Kentucky, Old Dominion.
individual performances is what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
you do.
Yeah.
You get some kids that just have like the game out of their mind. And we're going to, heck, we could see that on, who knows? We could see that next Wednesday when West Virginia takes the field and DJ Oliver goes for a $123 with 2 TDs, right?
Well,
People go like, where'd that DJ Oliver?
One of the things I want to see. I'm watching that. Yeah.
Just hope that it's not Connor Harrell, who hasn't played all year, that all of a sudden, Connor Harrell runs for 80 yards and passes for 250.
We had a history with these guys when they popped a new quarterback on us. The Oscar Davenport situation. It can't happen twice, can it?
Well, you don't know.
I hope
Who
not.
knows? I mean,
they need to just be done.
Was McFarland?
North Carolina should just move on.
It wasn't McFarland Brown as the coach in North Carolina.
Carl Torbush.
Carl Torbush was the coach back then. Yeah, exactly.
Good job, Brad.
Yeah, I had it too. I had a Carl there too. Might have been.
Remember that?
Carl Torbush.
I remember a lot about that game. That definitely was not a fumble on Zaraway.
No.
Terrible call.
I don't think they're going to change it now, though.
A terrible call.
That's a true Mountaineer.
Well, I mean, you take. Phil Braxton, that was not a catch at Rutgers to give Don Nealon, to pave the way for Don Nealon to get that win. It wasn't a catch. So you win some, you lose some. That Miami 96 game, that stands out too.
Illegal.
Syracuse fight.
Legal forward lateral.
Syracuse fight 92. That's not any good. By the way, later in the program, I'm just telling you this. Later in the program, I'm going to show you guys a Mountaineer football clip that you had never seen before.
Impossible.
That you have never seen before. And when I saw it, I went, what in the heck? That's all I'll say. That's coming up during Textual Healing, brought to us by episode800.com. Okay.
Yeah,
we'll wait.
Yeah, we better have because we got a lot of stuff. Because I got a lot of shout outs. I was out and about a bunch this week, so a lot of people.
Were you delivering stuff?
Yeah, delivered some stuff. Popcorn, specifically.
Where?
And to Adam here in Morgantown that bought some popcorn from us. Episode800.com.
So you and Dave just went out and delivered?
Me and Dave said, let's load it up. We'll just take it over there. Took a big bag of popcorn right to him, right at his front door.
All right, let's jump in here, man.
Hello,
First off.
delivery.
That's awesome.
Should open popcorn.
Who's there?
You and Dave?
Yeah, me and Dave. Adam came out, had a great chat.
Who's there? Land Shark. Open the door. Land Shark.
3 guys. Here was the delivery.
Personal delivery. We had fun.
Well
We'll show
done.
that picture later.
Okay, first we're going to do basketball.
We are? Okay.
Radford.
Radford.
I mean, you just want to, oof. Oof. Ouch. Ouch.
The first thing is that, wow, it's great to see the team for the first time this season.
You didn't see the team for the first time.
I mean,
you didn't see the team for the first time.
Well, you didn't, okay, because Jesse Edwards is not there. I get that, but how unusual. What? So there's that. Like, wow, you gotta like see who's on the team now. That's number one. Number two, it was great to see Raekwon Battle, who was the best player on the court. Raekwon Battle was the best player on the court. I mean, coming off not playing in the game and then coming off being sick and goes off for 29 or 30?
29
points.
Eastern.
Yeah, and just was dominant. I mean, struggled from 3-point, but
what?
But still.
What do you mean Eastern?
Well, he had 30 Central. He had 29 Eastern.
But here he goes.
Okay,
but
go
Tony,
ahead. You're making a good point. Keep it rolling.
You don't know what you have. I mean, you know you have a great talent in him, and it's great to see him playing, but you still don't know what you have exactly.
Sure.
And you couldn't finish. And then, second of all, after no offense to Toledo, but you were getting ready for a stretch here. I mean, it's going to be brutal.
It's unbelievable.
And this team, like we've been saying, like Brad's been saying for a couple weeks now, they got to figure out what they are as a team because clearly you don't really know yet who's supposed to have the ball at this time and make this play. You don't know yet, and it's impossible to know yet.
Well, I think that's where they are. That's the challenge that you have is that you kind of knew who you were for better or worse with Jesse Edwards. You're running the offense through him, you're throwing it down in, then kicking back out. And then you add the reinforcements and Kirk Reese comes in, and then it's a whole different offense because, as I've said, it's not just a new guy putting in, it's a ball-dominant guy that you just put in. All right, so you do that for one game. Maybe you're off and running. Well, and now you got to go to a whole nother offense. Here comes Raekwon Battle. He's also on the backcourt now, but there's no Jesse Edwards to run it through. So you're trying to figure out who you are. And it comes down to, I know we giggle and laugh all the time about you got to make shots. I mean, that's basketball, right? You got to make shots. How about this number that jumped out to me? I realized they were both losses, but how games can look different from game to game or week to week. West Virginia scored 37 points from spot-up jumpers against UMass. Shots were falling, right? From inside three, West Virginia was scoring 37 points on spot-up jumpers. Had 5 points against Radford on spot-up jumpers. Just couldn't get shots to go down.
Was it that as much as Radford does well guarding, because they were one of the best in the country in limiting teams in three-point shooting?
They are, but you still got, you got to make sure you make shots. Yeah, just make shots.
Well, I'm with you. It's crazy.
Here's the other part. The pick and roll we had talked was going to be a part of this offense with Creasa and Battle back in. Noah Farrakhan a little bit as well, but Creasa and Battle were going to use that significantly. West Virginia scored 14 pick and roll points against UMass with just Creasa in there. Scored 5 against Radford. Because what'd you change? You had the pick and roll ball handler, but you took out your main pick and roll man. So that's just two small examples of how the offense has changed just between the last couple of games on what you're trying to do. So it's going to take some time to figure out how to run that offense and get it going. I'll get some more numbers here in just a minute, but transition's a part of that, right? Josh talked all summer, sat in here on this show, talked about wanting to run and get up a little bit more. Then couldn't run because of the personnel that you had early on and just the sheer number of people. Can't be up and down. You're starting to see that come back into play a little bit. This team, I thought, did a nice job at times, especially against Radford, of getting out in transition. And it doesn't have to be just warp speed, run up and down the floor, but get out and try and create some one-on-one opportunities, some easier baskets. So I think you're going to continue to see that as they move on.
That's where the coaching is going to go on right now. This staff is going to get together here and has probably since the game ended against Radford and say, okay, knowing what we know now and what this is, what is our best attack to increase the level of efficiency? Is it going up and down the floor? My lean is that it is. Right? Raekwon Battle can create his own shot. Noah Farrakhan can create his own shot. Kirk Creasa can deliver the ball. The rebounding thing is a whole separate entity, which
that's a challenge.
That's going to be a challenge. Physically, can it be done? Yes. Physically, they have the ability to go get the ball. The mindset is not there. Plain and simple. The mindset is not there. They continually get caught flat-footed. They're not aggressively attacking. They're not getting 50-50 balls, and therein lies the difference. And until that changes, I mean, Radford comes in here and doinks you on the glass.
By 10, right? 8 or 10.
So what's that going to be? What's that going to be going forward? What's that going to be going forward? That's going to be a double-digit rebounding deficit night in and night out.
Well, that's why the offense becomes even more paramount. I mean, we've seen teams in West Virginia's history have those same deficiencies. The John Beeline teams, they didn't rebound well. They didn't play a lot of defense at times. What'd they do? Super efficient offensively and made shots. You can't not make shots and not get on the glass. You've got to find your way through that. We've seen Bob Huggins' teams be great on the glass and wonderful at defense, couldn't throw it in the ocean. So there's different ways to win. You don't have to do everything every game, but you better make up for those deficiencies with some elite offense if you're West Virginia. Now, I think a couple of encouraging things there. You've seen now in those two games with two different teams, in essence, Creasa's first game back, Battle's first game back, you saw some elite offensive performances from two different guys in Creasa. The ability to create and pass and hit threes, and then Battle. Here's the thing about him, guys. He went for 29, and we just threw that out there like, Battle had 29.
Quiet 29.
And then we go on to the next thing. It was a very quiet 29. Normally, a dude scores 29 at the Coliseum. You're walking out. Did you see? That guy scored 30 at the Coliseum. Did you see that? We just kind of went, Battle had 29 the other night. And then we're going to go on to other stuff.
And he would be probably the first to say, I didn't play well.
Should have had 40.
Well, he missed all those threes. I mean, he could have.
And a free throw late there he could have had. I mean, he was cramping. So, that was an issue after the cramp. Those things, when you get those cramps, man, right? They're just right under the surface. You can feel them coming. I'm sure that limited him some. He went for 29. So you've got some offensive talent. And then I thought this was really interesting, too. And I'm jumping around. I'll give you some Radford numbers here in just a second. The other thing that I liked about, so you got those two. So you've seen two really great individual offensive performances. That's encouraging moving forward. And at the end of the game, when West Virginia needed a basket, had to have a basket coming out of a timeout, and you've got Crease on the floor, and you've got Battle on the floor, what'd Josh go to? Which I thought was a great call. Cleared the side, gave it to Noah Farrakhan, said, clear it out, let him go. Right by him, right to the hoop for a layup. So there's a third guy that's coming in terms of individual offense. If you can start to get them to mesh, continue to make some shots, there's some offensive prowess potentially lying underneath the surface here that hopefully comes forth.
Yeah. And there's just now, because of what has happened, the addition of Noah Farrakhan, Raekwon Battle, the subtraction of Jesse Edwards has led to even more redefinition of roles for the guys that were already playing. So the Quinn Slazinskis of the world, the JoJo Harrises of the world, the Kobe Johnsons of the world, now you can almost sense it, that they're going like, okay, what do you want me to do here? And specifically Slazinski, right? He did not have a great game by any stretch and didn't shoot the ball well. And so you know that right now, like, okay, how am I getting incorporated in this? You would think with the distribution capabilities of both Farrakhan and Carissa that he could find a very nice role of just spotting up and letting that thing fly. The days of him having to attack the basket are probably gone.
Yes. You also saw him the other night on a couple possessions, which I think you can continue to use. Back to that pick and roll, he turned into the pick and roll man and can potentially, his size can be some matchup problems. I know that's harder when you get in the Big 12 because there's bigger, longer guys, but you can catch him in some weird mismatches and get him inside to post a little bit. So, yeah, I think that's exactly the point. You just have to find what the roles are for those guys. Specifically him. He had been so ball dominant and usage heavy that you've just got to find where his fit is there.
Exactly.
One more last thing that speaks, I think, to the offensive prowess of Battle, but what you have coming down these late game situations. Final 4:30 against Radford. Final 4 minutes and 30 seconds against Radford. There were 12 total offensive shot opportunities, including free throws. Okay? Battle took 10 of them. So it shows you how valuable he's going to be. Farrakhan had that one that we talked about, the ISO coming out of the timeout. The other one was the dump pass from Kerr to Sumnick that with 30 seconds to go that probably seals the win if you can handle that and finish. So shows how dominant Battle was down the stretch with the ball.
Battle, but at the end, I mean, he played a lot for a guy who hadn't played. I mean, was Battle trying to do too much, or was he the logical guy to have the ball at the end?
No, he's the guy. I mean, at 29, he's your guy. Yeah, he's your guy. And what impressed me about him is exactly what we thought. He can get a shot whenever he wants it.
That's what we said.
Yeah, he can get a shot whenever he wants it.
No, you want him to have it, Hop, because he's a baller. Now we always talk about guys that want the ball, like, give me the ball, I got this. You die for those guys. He's the guy.
They just have to figure out how to mesh. Can you hit the stinger real quick? Is it up?
Excuse me?
Can I give you an early number stinger?
You just want the
on Raekwon?
You just want the short one?
Yeah, just the short one.
Man, you're just totally.
We're not totally into it.
I got heavily themed here. Hang on one second. Let me see if I can. Go ahead.
Just looking through some numbers on this Radford game, Hoppy.
Yes.
Raekwon, as we discussed before he took the floor, he took some threes the other night, didn't get a bunch to go. He can obviously hit the three. But man, if you were watching, he hit some unbelievably difficult shots. He hit 2 on the baseline, fadeaways, 1 over 2 guys that were very NBA-esque. He's deadly from inside, meaning inside 15 feet the other night, 7 of 9 from the floor.
Wow.
Yeah, so keep an eye on him. Inside 15 feet, getting to the rim, back up to 15 feet. He was 55% from the floor from Montana State, 15 feet and in, but was really elite there the other night.
Did I use this with you? I used it on the air during the game to show you the world that we're living in college basketball. The night of the West Virginia Radford game, that same night, 1 year to that date, 1 year ago, Kirk Ariza hit 6 3-pointers playing for Arizona, had 18 points. And a guy on the other team had 17 points. The other guy was Raekwon Battle. It was Arizona, Montana State. And Carissa gets 18, Battle gets 17. And a year later, they walk on the floor together on the same day playing at West Virginia University.
That's pretty crazy.
Now, you tell me how things are working in college basketball.
Pretty crazy.
It's just amazing.
Perhaps serendipitous.
Yeah. By the way, super shout out to Darius Nichols. He's doing a wonderful job coaching that team. They're running good stuff. He doesn't have a ton of size. Pierce is really his only true big guy, and he's doing a really nice job. That was a huge, huge win for him.
Huge win.
That gives them 10 as they get ready. I mean, you would think that they will contend in the Big South. By the way, saw Coach Richmond there too. Mark Richmond.
Yeah,
he was there.
Lot of celebrities in the stands. Chris Richardson, coach at Wheeling, was there as well.
Yeah. Mark's at Notre Dame.
Mark Richmond's at Notre Dame College, of course.
Yeah.
Big listener of the show. Thanks, Mark.
Yeah, I love talking to those coaches. I go, okay, how you guys doing so far? They give you the record, and they'll always give you like why the record is what the record. Oh, we lost 2 in overtime. Yeah, we're this, but we just got to.
Yeah.
You know that?
Those guys can coach.
Yeah, they can coach because it's hard.
Yeah, if you dig into it, Hoppy, you want to watch some good coaching. I say it all the time, especially about that Mountain East Conference that we talk about. Those dudes, they know ball.
Yeah. James Herring is on the staff with Darris as one of his assistants. He started here as a student manager, known as Little Sweat. So there were guys like he hung around with Big Sweat, who was Kevin Noreen. So, but those guys are doing well.
Real quick, couple more Radford numbers before we move on to Toledo. Let's recap what we talked about Radford, see what parts of that came true on the scouting report. You guys talked about the rebounding of Radford. That is what they do. They're top 100 in offensive rebounding. They did double up West Virginia on the offensive glass, 12-6. Got 11 second chance points, which were 17% of their points, so that was a big area. They had shot the 3 really well coming in, 32nd nationally. They were hitting about a 40% clip. They did not shoot it well, just 24% from 3. So that was one of those things where you felt if you're West Virginia, you limit a good 3-point shooting team to 16% below their average, you feel like you've got a chance to win it, which you had a chance to win it, just couldn't close it. We said they were very good from the corner 3. Do you remember that?
Sure
Watch
do.
out for the corner 3. 3 of 4 from the left corner was Radford. We said they struggled from the top of the key on shooting 3s. That's okay if they want to shoot from there. They've struggled. They did again. 1 of 8 from the top of the key. Said watch out for the pick and roll ball handler. They were pretty good. 12 points off the pick and roll. Said they're spot up shooters. Good. Watch them. They did not have a great game from there, but it wasn't one of their worst. 5th most points from spot ups was Radford. Had their second best game with post ups. And I thought, this is where you start to look at coaching and coaching matchups. Yeah. I thought Josh, again, did a great job on the ISO for Farrakhan late in that game to get a bucket when you need it. I thought Darris did a good job of exploiting the size matchup he had with guards, with Creasa and with Farrakhan, taking them both in the post, and they got some buckets out of that. That was a nice move by them.
Yeah. It's amazing that they're a good rebounding team because they got one guy with size. They got 6'7" guys that just go up and get it. There's those 2 little guards, both are under 6 feet. Harris and, by the way, Truth Harris, love that name. Truth Harris.
That's a great name.
And Giles, both under 6 feet tall. They got watermelons, man. Those dudes are just like sharpshooters. As far as just they got moxie. They're tough. They don't care. Just like, come here, give it to me. Got it. Giles last year was the freshman of the year in that conference. Good players. Some people have asked, matter of fact, one of the people on this set asked, why wasn't that a travel or double dribble on that shot that eventually was the game winner? I went back and looked at it because no one had said anything. Because while he was dribbling, he never stopped dribbling it. He never pulled up and stopped his dribble.
He just got away from him.
Yeah, he lost the ball.
And he picked it up and didn't make another move other than to shoot it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I got a lot of questions last night on Sportsline like that, and it surprised me quite frankly. I didn't think there was much question. Once he lost control of it and it was rolling, right? Am I right? Because I just watched it the one time. Yeah. Picked it up and then just took the shot. He didn't step or dribble again.
Yeah, he never stopped and then picked it up. So it was just like, I lost the ball. I got to go pick it up. Shot the ball.
If he had started to dribble again.
Yeah, if he would have picked it up and then started to dribble again.
But he didn't. He picked it up and shot.
Picked it up and shot it.
But I guess it just looked like.
Yeah, I mean, conceivably.
It looked well, it's not typically how you draw up your last second shot.
You go down there, lose the ball, throw up a desperation shot,
and it goes in.
And we'll walk out of here. Sometimes you got to have that. 3 guys brought to us by.
They gave us a thanks for having us.
Yeah, they did. 3 guys brought to us by Comax Business Systems. Let's talk about your phone system. It's old if you're a business owner. If it is, it's time, man. It's time. And nowadays with the phone systems, you have unbelievable contact and communications with all of your people out in the field, whether that is through your folks' cell phone, through a remote.
What's happening?
What are you doing?
You're just coming over and pouring yourself coffee during the show?
Well, you're not showing us on this.
So you just kind of walked over. Okay. Your voicemail will actually work, and it will now be accessible from outside your office. And whether it's one line or 1,000 lines, they can take care of all your phone needs. Comax Digital Phone Systems, competitively priced. Call them in. They will give you a free estimate, and they will be happy to serve you. Comax Business Systems. When it comes to your business, they do everything from A to Z. Comax.
All right, you want to do some Toledo, and then we'll get to the UNC preview. Stay with basketball.
Yeah, but what I want. Yeah, go.
No, you need to do that again. I talked over it.
Oh yeah.
Is this the official spreads on stats segment?
No, this is like a appetizer.
Wow.
Excuse me.
It's getting complicated.
I'm going to do the Mayo. When we do the Mayo, I'm going to go with the full thing.
Oh, okay. Toledo preview. Best win over number 116 Northern Iowa, and these are all Ken Palm rankings. They played Detroit Mercy, who's 335 in the Ken Palm rankings, but every other opponent is 188 or better. So their record they're not undefeated coming in here, but that's a pretty good challenging schedule early on. Vermont lined up, beat them 26 at home, at Toledo, in their last game out. So unfortunately, Hoppy,
yes.
they got drilled at home in their last game.
So that means
Might have a little bounce back spot for Toledo. I can't imagine you get a team that's not ready to go, so you're going to have to show up and be ready to play for West Virginia. Field goal defense for them is one of the worst in the country.
Excuse me?
One of the worst in the country, their field goal percentage defense, 350 out of 362.
oh my gosh.
What are teams shooting against them?
Score. If you're West Virginia, come score.
What are teams shooting? Like 49%?
I don't have it.
All right, that's fine. Whatever.
I'll come back.
I'll look it up.
Over under on Raekwon's 24,
That's a high line.
22.
High line. They don't put opponents on the free throw line very often. So how about that? 34th nationally in defensive free throw rate. So teams are hitting shots but not scoring points at the free throw line off them. Toledo, shoots free throws and threes well. 23rd in the country in free throw percentage, 49th in three-point percentage. Very good from the top of the key, Hoppy.
Okay.
Top of the key, 42% from three at the top of the key.
Got a guard
and they're
there.
good on both wings, 38, 39%. So watch them up on the top, the wings, and the top of the key. They like to get to the rim as well. 35% of their shots will come at the rim. Dante Maddox and Raheem Moss will both try and get to the hoop, especially Moss. He's one of the nation's leaders in rim attempts. So put that in your notes, Tony. Raheem Ross, one of the nation's leaders in rim attempts. He'll put it on the deck, try and get to the basket.
How many blocks for a Cook?
Tyler Cochran gets to the rim as well. Need
1.5.
3 at least.
Mm-hmm.
Need 3 from a Cook. That's what my last note was. Would have been great to have Jesse Edwards back there in this game for a team that takes guards into the lane and tries to get to the rim. So, yeah, Cook's going to have to be back there to kind of clean it up. So, one of those, don't put them on the line, give them free points, go score. You should be able to make some shots in this game. Generally, you make shots, what happens, Hop?
If you make shots,
Yeah,
you
what
win.
happens?
You win.
You win.
Make shots, you win.
You would think that West Virginia should be in a foul mood after what happened against Radford. You should come out and just go like, okay, don't care if this is our getaway day for Christmas break. We're going to come out here and we're going to ball.
And Radford was actually one of those two that got away. You got to get some wins here. Okay, it's going to get tough. So this is an opportunity to get a win, and one got away from the other night. You got to get this one.
20 games left. 20 games left after
That's
this
fast.
one. No, wait, am I right or wrong? Got 18. No, well, you have 19 technically, and then you go to the tournament. So a minimum, you got time here.
Yeah, 2 more non-conference. Toledo and a difficult Ohio State, and then boom, then you're off and running. Here comes Houston, number 1 in Ken Palm's ratings.
You go to the Ohio State game?
Yeah, I'll be there.
You're going to go?
Yeah.
Cleveland?
Yeah.
I think Gansey will be around. I would think Mad Gansey will
Asked someone last night that knows. I have not texted Mike, but I will. I asked. I says, Gansey there? Have you talked to him? Person said yes.
He'll be in attendance.
Yeah, because the Cavs play at home Friday night. He will. I'm told
really?
will be there Saturday.
You're going to the Ohio State game?
Yeah, I mean, he's a big fan. He goes. I mean, if it wasn't for all these games out past the Mississippi, he'd be going to these games. Big fan. Big fan.
Yeah.
So I checked the numbers.
You can drive to.
We'll just go right to the numbers. Here comes a heater.
Let's jump into the analytics portion of the show.
Time for Spreads on Stats is brought to us by the Conley CPA Group. What do? Well, they serve clients throughout the state of West Virginia. When it comes to their businesses, they provide complete public accounting services and consultation, priding themselves in doing a whole lot more than just filling out the forms, just the numbers. They will take you by the hand, so to speak. They will guide you to help you understand the best way to attack your business challenges, valuable solutions and outcomes, auditing, assurance, tax planning preparation, and our favorite, the ability that they have to outsource your accounting. They'll come right in and do it remotely, and CFO services. As the Three Guys enterprise continues to grow, who knows? We might have to hire a CFO someday, don't you think?
Like soon.
Yeah,
that's coming soon.
Yeah. We'll hire Conley
Who's handled
CPA.
it now, Dave?
Well, Dave does.
Homeless Dave?
Well, yeah, Dave does a nice job. Sometimes he makes payments to people, and they actually remember that they cashed the check. Anyway,
Yeah, that was bad on my part. That was a mistake.
Don't even want to get into that. Not publicly nor privately.
Point is, call Conley CPA Group. They'll just handle it.
They take care of it.
Just here.
Maybe I
You
should
walk
call
out of the big
Conley.
boxes. They're just here.
You should call Conley.
Yeah.
They'll come in. No, Mr. Kirchhoff, you already brought that
Do you
check
offer
to the
a
bank.
service where you will cash checks for me?
Can you cash this twice? the stub looked like a check.
Yeah.
Looked just like a check.
Kirchhoff comes. Kirchhoff comes to me. He goes, "Hey man, your boy screwed up." I said, "What do you got?" So what's up? He goes, "He gave me this, but it's not a check. I brought this to the bank, and they said it's not a check." I looked at it and I went, "Well, dude, it's got a perforated edge here. You ripped the check off. The check's gone. The check's gone." He goes,
You were busy. You had a lot going on.
He goes,
during
check's
that
on. He
time.
said, I said, "Did you throw that part of it in the garbage?" He goes, I don't know. So my boy, Dave, who's just salt of the earth, wonderful guy, like he doesn't want to make Hoppy feel bad. So he goes, "Well, Hoppy, I'll check that out for you." So he goes to the bank. He says, "Hey, can we get this check reissued? Apparently this got thrown away." So the fine folks at the bank, they look at it and they called Dave back up and said, "Dave, I'm really sorry. We called that in, and that check has already been cashed."
A lot of things on your mind.
Dorfus Menorphus over there.
Traveling, it was, right? You were stressed about. There was anxiety with the travel coming.
Oh, geez.
Sorry, totally understand. All right, what are we doing? UNC.
Tell us about Mountaineers, and Tar Heels.
Can I just say I don't know? Does that work for this
I
segment?
think everyone says that.
I don't.
Right?
I don't know. Hoppy, I don't know.
Well, you don't, but there are things you do know. I mean, you don't know, but
what do you know? Drake May's out. Tez Walker's out. Corey Gaynor, their center, is out.
Right.
Played 912 snaps. Cedric Gray, one of their best linebackers, he's out.
Right.
We know they're out. We know guys are out. We know Zach Frazier's out for West Virginia.
Right.
So that's a big question here. Let's start with that for a second, because I don't feel we've given that the appropriate, what does that mean? And you can't answer that right now.
Huge, yeah.
But that's massive. I mean, we're over here. Drake May's out for them. That's massive. Tez Walker's out for them. Huge. Their center's out. That's huge. I feel like we're undervaluing the Frazier is out. I assume you're going to plug Brandon Yates in as the backup
Correct.
center, who did a great job in that last drive at Baylor. You're getting a really experienced player in at center. That's what you feel good about. And I know we're all, it's going to just move Brandon Yates over there. That's a hard ask. That's an experienced Brandon Yates as a player, but not as a center.
Because Zach Frazier is the greatest center in the history of West Virginia football. And we've had great centers.
Yes.
Dan Moses, Mike Compton. But Zach Frazier, based on his length of work, he's right there. He's right? He's
Yes.
one of the,
Yeah.
I mean, you could make a very strong case he's the greatest center in school history.
Well, and just having him, not just the individual performance, but just having him there,
And
having him on the field.
IDing the defense, getting you in right stuff. I mean, that's a big one.
Let me just say this to Dan and Mike. Listen, dude, let's just arguably. Can I just get because those guys were great. I mean, Moses wins the Remington, Mike Compton wins Super Bowls. I mean,
played 27 years in the league.
Yeah, among the greatest. Zach is right there, and you can. I mean, you could have a coach. They'll have to break it down, but among the greatest, he's there with Moses and Compton.
So for me, it's a couple parts. It's one, I think let's just acknowledge what that may look like. So I'm anxious to watch that. I think this is the part. For me, this game is a two-parter. It's a potential cap of this season, and hopefully if you're West Virginia, you get that win, you cap what was a really good year, and you start to move on with some excitement for next year. But there also is an element to this of, hey, what's it going to look like next year with an offense that returns most of its pieces, but it does lose some critical offensive line pieces. But there's some younger guys coming up that they feel are really talented guys, and I think you're going to see some of those in this game. So I'm anxious to watch that specific part of that. What's this look like with some new offensive line guys in there?
This, North Carolina, it'd be interesting. It's going to be fascinating to see, and you're right about, we focus on West Virginia. Where's West Virginia without Frazier? And without C.J. Donaldson. But this North Carolina team is a heck of a story because they started out, they won their first 6 and were ranked in the top 10 in the country. Then they only won, 2 of their last 6, and one of those was over Campbell, and the other was a 2-point win in double overtime over Duke. So, and there's talk about, should Gene Chizik be fired, the defensive coordinator? Tony, this team, North Carolina, take out Campbell, they gave up an average of 38 points in the last 5 FBS games. So you would think, and again, with their linebacker out, their leading tackler out, you would think this is a game that West Virginia with Garrett Green, that they can score some points here. So I think West Virginia has a distinctive, I know what you're saying, Brad, but I think West Virginia has a distinct advantage here. If you're ever going to get a team like this, you get them now, because I think they're going to be struggling a little bit. And the freshman quarterback, who, I know he can run a little bit, but he's a freshman quarterback. He's passed the ball 6 times, completed 4. He hasn't played. So, Brad, what do you do if you have a young quarterback who hasn't played? What do you do?
I think they're going to want to run it with Omarion Hampton.
Yes,
he's really good. Second best running grade in the ACC, had 1,400-plus yards rushing. How about this for a number on Hampton? He had 1,023 yards after contact.
Amazing.
He had a 1,000-yard season after somebody hit him.
Ollie Gordon.
That's pretty good, man.
He's Ollie Gordon.
The next best in the ACC, so he had 1,023 yards after contact. The next best in the ACC was 683. Not quite double what was next. So he's going to be a dude.
I talked to Neil.
ACC and missed tackles.
You know why? Because he's 6'220".
I talked to Neil, and that's what he said. I said, what do we got? And he said, my biggest concern, we got to stop the running back. He said, we've got to slow him down. He said, he is a dude.
Well, then load up, try to stop him or slow him down. I think in the North Carolina State game, he had 9 carries for 28 yards. So line up, call Tony Gibson. Tony, what'd you do?
Well, there potentially may have been a little conversation between Jeff Castile and Tony Gibson.
Yeah, but this isn't scheme. This to me isn't scheme. I mean, I'm pretty comfortable West Virginia can draw up a scheme to stop a running back. This isn't scheme. Someone better stick their nose in there and want to tackle the guy. That's what this comes down to. Yeah. You've got to want to tackle. If West Virginia's defense shows up, missing a couple of guys, injuries still, if it shows up there and doesn't want to stick its face in the fan on this guy, and Hampton wants to run, you're going to have a problem.
You got 2 North Carolina linebackers, right? Lee Koba and Ben Cutter, coming back home turf, ball out, over under, total tackles, Lee Koba, Ben Cutter. Give them to me.
23, 24, 22.
I'm going 19 and a half.
That'd be it. Those would be big numbers. If they got nearly 10 apiece, those would be big numbers. Need to have it. West Virginia's 3-4 on the season when allowing more than 135 yards rushing, which is not a big number. So you're going to have to get in front of the guy, and somebody's going to want to tackle him. What do we always say? The tackling is the defensive rebounding of football, right? There's a lot of want to in tackling. And we see bowl games, Hoppy. We watch all of them. There are some guys that make decisions to not tackle in bowl games. West Virginia's got to make a decision, say, screw this. We're playing and we're going to tackle.
Not only that.
A lot of business decisions, Hoppy.
What suffers after a layoff, Tony? What suffers?
Tackling, Hoppy. That's what they've been working on. I mean, they have a plan as to how they can tackle well. That's what they're trying to do. I mean, they get it. They understand it. But you're right. These bowl games are decided by, I mean, it's cliche, but who wants to play more? You got to hope, and I think that West Virginia wants to play more in this game.
And it would make sense, especially, and again, the defense for West Virginia, you don't know what you're getting. We saw them be very good in the beginning of the season. We saw them struggle late when those injuries started to catch up. So that's the part of the West Virginia team I'm not sure what you're getting. The offensive side, I think you feel pretty good. You've got a lot of pieces there, and you know what they have to do? You know what Carolina has to do, Hoppy?
They got to try to slow down West Virginia.
They got to try and stop Jaheim White and Garrett Green running the ball, too.
So look, Marion Hampton, let's say he gets 130, okay?
Just don't give him 135.
Let's say he gets 130, and you really have trouble stopping him. Maybe he gets more than 130, you have trouble stopping him. Okay, score 38. Yeah, I know that's cavalier, but I mean, they're giving up 38. You have a potent offense, score 38 points.
It is cavalier because you can't just assume you can pick up and move your offense that hasn't played in 4 weeks and drop it down there without one of the greatest centers of all time and just have it put up 38. But I think that's what you're going to have to do, score. That's their deficiency. Their defense has struggled. They're coming off that game where they gave up 500 yards to North Carolina State, who went up and down on them. That's what you've got to do. You've got to make them early decide that they don't want to be there and play. It's the Carolina program that's lost 10 of 13 bowl games. Like, get on them early and let them say, okay, you know what, we're not interested now.
But, you mentioned all those guys. Drake May, Cedric Gray, Corey Gaynor, Tez Walker, all their tight ends are out. 2 defensive backs are out. So what about the part that you can't quantify is what do those guys also, what did they mean to the team in terms of leadership and rallying guys and making decisions? I mean, that's a factor too. So they have a deficit there, not just in talent, but in what those guys brought to that team.
Yeah. These games, again, this is a mentality game. You have to go out there, as Brad just said, and I think he said it well, you have to initiate early in the game to let them know that this is going to be just a very physical encounter and we're not going away. And you have to mentally beat them down. Not necessarily physically, but mentally make it. Did you see, again, last night, that South Florida game? Those dudes were just bouncing all over the field. They're running into the end zone. They're doing flip-flops. They're going crazy. All of the energy that belonged to them. And it was clear right from the beginning of that game, we're here to play, man. We're going to just keep punching you in the face. That's the kind of mentality you have to win games like this.
You've got to go take it. You can't just lollygag in there and say, we're here, because here's the flip side. And again, we do a lot of these games and we watch them, and I'll give you 2 examples. Western Kentucky goes in without its quarterback, without 3 of its starting offensive linemen. Every starting offensive lineman for Western Kentucky was playing in a new spot in that game. Their second-string quarterback's a true freshman. He goes in, and it was not good early for him. So Old Dominion up 28-0, ha-ha, giggling, laughing, ha, elbowing each other on the sidelines. Look at this. We're going to celebrate. Western Kentucky said, is that right? We're going to put a third-string quarterback in. You know what we're going to do? We're going to come back on you and beat your ass. And then Old Dominion went, my God, what happened? Ohio U, one of the first games of bowl season. Curtis Rourke says, no, you know what? I'm out. Not playing for Ohio U. I'm going to Indiana. Already signed with Indiana, already gone, joining Kurt Signetti. Ohio U's got no chance. He's an all-time quarterback at Ohio U. They got no chance. I don't know why Ohio U even traveled to the bowl game. They were missing everybody. And suddenly Ricky Hunt had 7 touches all year. Ricky Hunt said, you know what? I get to play today? Oh, I want to play. I'm here to play. Give me the ball. Scored 5 touchdowns. Ohio U wins. So who knows? Again, would I rather have Drake May out than in? Absolutely, I would. Who knows what this backup says?
Right.
He might say, great, I'm glad Drake May's gone too. I get to play. So you've got to show up for this game. This isn't you just show up as a Mountaineer fan and assume you've got to win because they're missing pieces. Hopefully in the recap we say, yeah, you know what? North Carolina was missing pieces. They weren't very good. Hopefully that happens. I'm not ready to concede that yet.
Right. The macro is, though, you like the game. You like the game because, A, it's in Charlotte, okay? And West Virginia fans will go to Charlotte. B, North Carolina and Mac Brown. I mean, those are names, okay? Those are names. Those are programs that you know. And you got a chance to win your 9th game. I just think there's a lot of...
It's a great opportunity.
Yeah, great.
It's a great opportunity.
Exactly.
There's no question there is. All right, let me give you a couple numbers here, and then we'll move on to the text. Let's look at our season-long key. I'm going to go down Kercheval one more time with our season-long key.
Right.
Percentage of passing downs for West Virginia's opponents. If West Virginia can keep them in passing downs 30% of the time or more, mark it down, it's a win. 7-0 this season when doing that. What comes with that is what we just discussed. You've got to slow the run down. If Hampton's going bananas and they're in 2nd and short and 3rd and manageable, you're going to be in some trouble. Keep them and force them to pass, especially with the backup quarterback.
But what's the average? Like 60 yards a carry? Something like that?
Yes,
So,
but here, I'll give you some numbers. These don't mean anything. This is the least important these numbers have ever been because they're all Drake May numbers. But passing downs are defined as 2nd and 8 or more, or 3rd and 4th down and 5 or more to go, okay? 2nd and 8 or more, 3rd and 5, 4th and 5 or more. Carolina was 37th nationally in passing attempts on 2nd and 8, but they just had a 55% completion percentage, which is below Drake May's season. So they threw it a lot. They were in 2nd and 8 a lot and had to throw it. That's good. Carolina was 88th nationally in passing attempts on 3rd and 5 or more, so they were a little better in those situations. They were 27th nationally in passing attempts on 4th down and 5 or more, just a 29% completion rate. So, again, I'll give you those. Don't mean a hill of beans because it's a whole different Carolina team. Carolina's offensive line allowed the 4th fewest pressures in the ACC. The spot where they did allow them was on the left guard side of things. So that their left guard allowed their most pressures. That matches up with West Virginia's right side. Keep an eye on Sean Martin here. He was 7th in the Big 12 in pressures from the right side. This is normally where I'd say Trey Lathan, right, earlier in the season. So someone else is going to have to pick up and find a way to get some pressure. Lee Koba was next. You mentioned Koba earlier. He was next in right side pressures. Here's another one to keep an eye on, because we didn't talk about him enough, but we will in the season finale wrap-up. You talk about impact transfers that came in, and Beanie Bishop will get all the headlines there and should for what he did. But Tomoa Durajaye, he had a really nice year, guys. He's somebody moving forward that if you start to make your early list, if you want an early list next year when I ask you for breakout players, he wouldn't be a bad one to put on there. He's really good. He had 2 sacks from the right side, so he's a guy keep an eye on over on that right side getting some pressure as well. 2 sacks, I know doesn't sound like a big number. He had limited pass rush opportunities too. Wasn't playing a ton of snaps per game. Watch out for Durajaye on the right side.
good call.
Very nice.
Well done.
Well done. Very good. Spreads on Stats brought to us by the Conley CPA Group. They provide value beyond the numbers. And a reminder to you, our good friends at Gomart. Up until the 31st of this month, until December 31st, Gomart offers triple points. Triple points, I say, on Tuesdays. Triple points on Tuesdays. Go in, use your card, and you get triple the points. You're not a member? Not a problem. Sign up online, Gomart.com, or get the app, and you will save piles of points on Tuesdays. Go in and get triple the points on your Gomart card. Special thanks to Gomart for their sponsorship of Three Guys Before the Game. And Three Guys also brought to us by Lou Wendell Marine Sales in St. Albans. They sell family fun. You'll be around your family this coming holiday season, hopefully. And when you unwrap the presents, what about that bad boy underneath your tree? You know what I'm talking about. It is our Three Guys special. Fantastic. Avalon 2385 Entertainer, the top-of-the-line tri-tune model, with a Three Guys special price. Check it out at Lou Wendell Marine Sales in St. Albans or at LouWendellMarineSales.com. It's got a Honda 150, comes with the trailer, the complete Entertainer model, makes a lot of noise. Beautiful, beautiful sound in that thing. Lighting, slate teak flooring, interior, exterior, LED lights, and a whole lot more. It's just an absolute dandy, Clark. Put a ribbon around that, and it is an absolute beautiful seagoing vessel. Hey, let's do this. Three Guys Before the Game is brought to us by episode800.com. That's our website in which we offer you our stuff, from apparel to coffee to popcorn and bourbon barrels and a whole lot more. Coming up here, turn of the year, also going to start to offer some lawn and tractor supply items. Looking forward to that. Three Guys Mowers. Really looking forward to doing that.
Sheet metal.
As Brad said, we've had some wonderful opportunities during the Christmas season here, holiday season. to go out and this is going to be dangerous. So Austin's our producer. Austin, if you have that picture of Brad going out, if you don't, I'm going to send it to you. So I don't see it, so that's fine. I'm going to
delivering popcorn.
Yeah,
he's got it. Give him a second. He'll get it.
He has the picture of you
delivering the picture.
You sure?
Yeah, I mean, when I went out and delivered popcorn.
Yeah,
to Adam.
Right.
Yeah,
you were out
personal
there.
Delivery.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay. Well, maybe Austin could put that picture up there, or he's going to yell across the wall and say, "I don't." But you saw the picture over there.
I sent it to him. He's confirmed receipts. No, not that one. Not that one. That's
a long time.
Public.
Well, you did a hell of a job on that.
Oh no, you sent it to him. Didn't you send it to him?
No, I mean I'll do it now. Austin, I'm sending you a picture of Brad delivering the kernels.
What time does the show start?
What do you mean?
Well, obviously we're in the production meeting.
About a half hour from now, we'll get started.
I mean, why would we get organized now? Just leave it.
Well, we're running a new offense too. We're going an early morning show here. We get holiday season. Trying to get used. Austin's producing for the first time. We put a new ball handler in out front. We're trying to get used to things.
Like when Tavon Austin went to the backfield. Timeout.
Well, no, this isn't working as well as that did.
I'm talking about we're Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, and Austin,
we're the Oklahoma defense.
Hey, Austin's looking like Mark Stoops. What the hell am I supposed to do now? What are these guys doing? They're throwing me a curver.
Well, while we're waiting here, can I give some other shout outs?
Because
I saw a picture there. Was out and about. Was over for my shift hoppy at Daniels earlier this week, and I was folding a quarter zip, nice quarter zip there, right on the corner end cap, and putting that together. And nice young woman, Crystal from here in Morgantown, stops, and she says, the direct quote, "Oh my God, you do work here." I said, "Yeah, I told you. You saw me folding that." She goes, "I did." Now, Crystal wasn't just happy to say hello. Mm-hmm. Crystal challenged me a little bit and said, if you work here, can you dress a mannequin? You say all the time you can dress a mannequin. Yeah. I'm going to tell you something, Crystal. Come on with me." Walked right to the front of the store, pulled a vest off the rack, put a nice gold West Virginia vest, Peter Millar vest, Tony, the nice old gold that he has over there.
Absolutely.
Put that right on the mannequin, zipped it up, said, "There you go."
See,
so thanks to Crystal.
You're one of those guys. If you get challenged, watch out because you're going to go. You're going to go. Well done on your part.
So we did a mannequin, Crystal and I. Matt, also an attorney down in Fairmont, was over at Daniels, so we said hello to him.
You saw him there too?
Yeah, I saw him there as well. He's picking up some pants.
Who's at Daniels more, Phil or you?
Phil's there. No, I'll tell you something. Phil is there.
Yeah, Phil is always there. I've never been there that Phil wasn't there.
Phil is always there.
Well, I mean, Phil's like Rocco Muriel. Remember when you used to ask Rocco, you say, "What's the key to a successful restaurant?" He'd say,
"Show up,
be there.
Got to be there.
You got to be there."
That's like any business. Got to be there.
I guess you're right.
Yeah. It's like
thanks to Crystal and Matt for saying hello while I was handling my shift.
Very nice.
Okay, here's the deal, Hoppy. We're going to have another production meeting on set here.
Okay.
I know you need to leave at some point, so you can leave whenever you want, whenever you feel uncomfortable.
I can just get up and walk out.
Well, yeah, because
I
know what's coming.
What?
I know that you're going to start getting nervous because you got to go do your show and you got to go do your preparation, and so I know that you're going to get tense. So Brad, I just figured this out. Just Brad and I'll just go continue to do it. Whenever you want to leave, you can leave, but we'd love to have you for as long as you could stay.
Hey, can you come on my show at 10?
No, I'm busy, not available. Thanks for asking, though.
All right, go ahead and go. When Austin has
got
the
bigger
delivery
things.
Picture, he
got some bigger things. I'm doing a trading post drop in on a station in Grafton. Can't make it. Hey, three guys, I was wondering, has there ever been a new West Virginia coach that's taken walk-ons and has gotten so much production as Neil has? Seems like since he's been here, he develops walk-ons into D1 players more than others.
His preferred walk-on program, specifically with West Virginia kids, has been elite.
Yeah,
I mean that takes time to do, but I think they have done. Neil and the staff have done a wonderful job of getting those kids, especially a lot of those West Virginia guys, bringing them in as walk-ons, elevating up into scholarship, and therefore elevating into guys that produce. And this year was the prime example. That's as much West Virginia homegrown talent producing at a high level, maybe at any point in the modern era here for football. They've done a great job with that program.
Agreed.
And you have to have that if you're going to have any chance. Texter. What do Jerry West, Rod Thorne, and myself have in common? Jerry and Rod wore number 44, and that's my birthday. He just turns 44. Got an early birthday this week. Raekwon Noah cleared to play hoops. I do have one birthday wish for today. Scopes, if you can do your famous Don Crickey, that would make my day. Signed by P1 Jennings, 38-year rotary phone user. So it's Don Crickey. This is Don Crickey along with Bob Trumpy, our sideline reporter, is P1 Jennings. Let's go down on the sideline. He's standing by with Nebraska head coach Tom Osborne, and he's also joined by their starting center, Dean Steinkühler. There you go, Jennings.
This is a good one.
Texter.
Probably underutilized now, but
This team is just like John Beeline's early teams. Soft, no rebounding, no defense, live and die by the three. Yeah. Probably some of that.
Let's see what it looks like in a month.
their perimeter defense can take a step up here, I think. We'll have to see where it goes. Battle can guard. Crease, I thought, did a nice job against Radford. He dug in, played a little defense the other night. Your interior defense is going to be the challenge, though, with no Jesse Edwards.
Yeah.
Texter, hey, three guys, can we redshirt the entire basketball team, including the coach and staff, asking for a friend? Texter, gentlemen, and Mr. Hankey, Cull, not Josh, here in Culloden again. I wanted to take a second to give a shout-out to episode 800's team. I recently ordered some Christmas gifts from the website for my boys, Noah, Tommy Boy, from back in my hometown in Fayetteville. I placed 2 separate orders on December 5 to be delivered to each of them, so that I was sure I could meet the three guys' December 10 deadline. Noah's efforting t-shirt arrived today, December 18. Tommy Boy's bag of game day grind, however, was still in a pending status. I get a little concerned, so I thought it wouldn't hurt to email info@episode800.com just to make sure no technology issues had occurred. Within minutes, our guy Dave emails letting me know that he was checking on it. Within 15 minutes, he got back to me again, full update. In this day and age of online ordering, it's refreshing to have good customer service. Anyways, I just wanted to give shout out. Good work, go Ears. We're happy. Very happy for you.
Elite customer service.
A Groover's elite.
Yeah.
I mean, he is.
Speaking of that, here's Brad with his picture delivering. He went out
There
to deliver.
it is. There's Adam.
Now, that's Adam there, and he ordered the Mountaineer Munch.
Multiple bags of it.
Yeah, and getting rave reviews on that. Yeah.
Showed up, knocked on the door. You know where Adam works? I don't think he'd mind me saying.
Where?
Post office.
Of course he does.
We're huge in
Sorting facility.
We're huge in
He's
post
not in one of
offices.
the branches, the elite branches, but he's in the sorting facility. So he's got to do an elite job before it can even get to the elite customer service guys.
Yeah.
Adam.
Is that up there?
We had a great time.
Up there near the Go-Mart?
In fact, right next to the Go-Mart.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Ted from Colorado, I'm impressed with Josh Eilert. I think he deserves another year. He has not used all the personnel problems as an excuse. I'd give him another year to see if he can recruit. Texter. Okay, I got to put
Josh Eilert, what Eilert could do is just after this season, if he doesn't stay at West Virginia, is just he could hire himself out as, do you have chaos?
crisis
management. You have a crisis
management.
My man Josh, he's moved from a guy that had never been in this position, obviously, to he can go right to consultant status.
Yeah, crisis management.
Like he just walks in and says, what's your problem? What is it? Throw it at me because I've already done that. I've already done that. I've seen it.
You get a call.
You want to fight the NCAA? Done that.
Our gym burned down. Team left. University has no money. I can figure.
Injury, got it.
I'll take you through. Yeah. I'll get you through it. I'll get you through it. Okay.
Hey, Coach, got a cholera epidemic. 6 of my guys are out. 2 of them caught on a train in Siberia. What do you do?
Yeah, that's no problem. Here's what you do. When I faced that, my first year as head coach, was on board for 3 months, faced everything you could possibly face.
Everything.
Okay, so this is what I told you guys about earlier, Mountaineer football tape that you've probably never seen. Hoppy, you may have been there for this, but this is Steve and Eleanor sent this to us. Guys, I came across this video. By the way, Austin, see if you can run audio on this because I want to pot this up so we can hear the audio too. Came across a video on my TikTok feed which made a reference to West Virginia's 1971 game against Pitt. Pretty hilarious. So let's see if we can run this thing with audio.
Going through 71
Crap.
game film
No audio. Anyway, this guy's on camera and he says, you guys are not going to believe how West Virginia University took the field in advance of its 1971 game against the Pitt Panthers. He says, I've seen nothing like this. Watch this. West Virginia comes onto the field, old Mountaineer Field. Watch what they do.
Oh, geez.
They absolutely, that's not Pitt. That they're hitting each other.
in the world
A massive, they just started beating the living snot out of
Try and
each
set
other.
the tone. We're
Guys,
gonna be
yeah,
physical
setting
today.
the tone.
Jeez.
They're just
Young men are going to be physical today, Hobby.
guys are getting flipped over. We'll get 40. Watch 40. 40's in there fighting every single guy on his team. One guy literally gets flipped upside down, goes head over heels.
Fans enjoy it.
Yeah.
Virginia won the
And
game.
by the way, West
So,
Virginia.
I guess
By the way,
I
West
feel
Virginia
like
won the
that.
game.
I would guess.
Yeah.
No, I did not. I've never seen it. I was not.
Is that amazing?
That's wild.
Texter. Forrest in Morgantown, regardless of where Josh Eilert ends up, what questions could potential interviewees ask that he could not trip him up or not be prepared for?
Right.
Coach, you ever had a weird coaching transition? Lose a significant amount of players to the portal midsummer, federal lawsuit, mid-season injury? Josh could probably handle those while in the middle of a team meeting while also doing the daily Wordle. Hope Jesse heals quickly. Mountaineer Nation sending good thoughts. Keep up the good work, guys.
Agree.
Texter. Hey, three guys, as the Duke's Mayo Bowl approaches, our sons are taking their 89-year-old grandmother to Charlotte.
Well done.
Her late husband and the boy's grandfather played on the West Virginia team in the '54 Sugar Bowl against Georgia Tech. I'm sending a couple of pictures of his watch from the game and the roster. His name was Ray Surbaugh. So there you are. That's the Sugar Bowl watch that was given to the Mountaineers, signed by Ann in Webster County.
Wow.
Isn't that some great stuff right there? And then the roster picture as well. And so thank you very much, Ann, and I hope that Grandma has a wonderful, wonderful day. That's awesome. I hope I'm 89 going to a bowl game. I would love that.
Calling the bowl game.
Hello, three guys. I want to clear something up from a text I sent in early November. In my previous text, I referenced some Big Creek High School, McDowell County connections to West Virginia, including Father George Neediff, and that caused some confusion. As Hoppy mentioned, he thought Neediff was from Wood County. That is accurate. Father Neediff was teaching and coaching at Big Creek before returning to West Virginia. So that was the rationale for mentioning that particular connection. I wanted to clear that up. Lastly, looking for the game in Charlotte, let's go Mountaineers, Joe in Valentines, Virginia. Texter. This person wrote Texter as his son, Texter. Josh from Audra State Park on the way to visit family in Beaufort, South Carolina. There has been mention of Christmas travel. I assume many people are passing through Charlotte around this time. Great city, but I have one qualm. Did the NCAA design the express lane system coming in Lake Norman? They had a great opportunity to eliminate traffic, and they fumbled it. I'll be down there. That's where I get off. I get off Lake Norman.
Get off of Lake Norman?
Yeah. Texter, do you have any updates on Josiah Trotter? How is he progressing through injury? I was hopeful for a bowl game appearance from him. Also, excited about West Virginia's linebacker room. All systems seem to be go with Josiah. Delighted that he's coming back this coming season.
Real quick on that he's right. That linebacker room has some potential. Ben Cutter now that's played a lot. Trey Lathan when he returns. Trotter.
Yeah.
And then Ben Carrico, a linebacker that was picked up this week in the transfer portal, which I think is about as perfect. I don't know how Ben's going to turn out to be player-wise. That's about as perfect on paper as you can get for the new age West Virginia. You get a guy that's close, Ironton, Ohio, right? 4-star, top 4 player coming out of Ohio when he came out. That's right in the wheelhouse of what you'd love to get. Chooses to go to Ohio State, doesn't play as much as he wants, available in the portal as a bounce back. Neil goes and grabs it.
I tell you, the portal so far looks good for West Virginia.
Well, they attacked it. They were organized. They were ready to do it, right? We had Drew Fabianich in here, remember, when he came in. May have done preparations to know who they would want, and as soon as it happened, as soon as these kids put their name in the portal, they attack them. Like Neil says, you got basically about a week. Once they put their name in the portal, you say, "Oh, hey, we're interested. Come on in for a visit." Okay, done deal.
And I think that you're at the stage in this program. You don't need 30 guys, right? You need what, 6, 7. I mean, you need to plug holes. Right. You want to plug holes, not just be in a complete rebuild.
Right. Congratulations to Hoppy on his 3 first-round draft picks in the MLS draft. Dan's got the lads in a good spot. Congratulations, Hoppy, the soccer coach that you hired. Has 3 first-round picks in the MLS.
Had a marvelous year. Marvelous.
Derek in Blacksville, western end of Monongalia County, for those that might not be familiar. Hey, 3 guys, long-time listener, first-time texter, flew to Birmingham a few days of work, stayed at a hotel in Hoover. One evening, having drinks at the hotel bar, bartender asked where I'm from, told her Morgantown. She said her cousin played basketball at the university.
Excuse me?
When we asked who her cousin was, she said, Javon Carter. This goes to show always a connection. You guys always talk about that. Keep up the good work. Derek in Blacksville. That's funny because We were at the Central Florida game this year, UCF checking in, and the lady that checked us in, same thing, cousin of Javon Carter. Carter with a lot of cousins. You guys remember a while back, Katie Price.
Oh, that's a good story.
Someone says, thank you guys would like this picture. This is Katie Price getting ready for an interview on WSAZ television. Mm-hmm. So battling cancer, and she has her efforting T-shirt, and we were fortunate enough to send her some stuff, and delightful to see that, and what a beautiful smile.
Yeah.
We wish her the very, very best. Texter. Good to see all the positives around Mountaineer football. I've been a fan of Coach Neal since day one. Thankfully, he's been given the time necessary to build a winning program. Watching the new additions has been exciting. I think Drew Fabianich was an absolute game changer. I've been looking for info on the new players or whether or not they have 39.5-inch arm length. No luck so far. Any idea when he'll be back on the show? Keep up the good work, Matt in Taze Valley. And he says Taze Valley is a mindset, not a location, because it does not exist. Yeah, we'll try to get him back on. 3 guys, how does Creasa get by having his first name on his jersey instead of his last like the rest of the team? Thanks. I don't know. Texter, 3 guys, clearly the Mountaineer basketball team
find out.
Okay.
Please.
Clearly the Mountaineer, right now they're working on some bigger issues. Clearly the Mountaineer basketball.
When you get time, just ask. I mean, it's come up.
I get it.
All right.
Clearly the Mountaineer basketball team is cursed.
Just ask a question.
How about let's get rebounding fixed first.
Okay, I'm just saying, in a casual conversation, just ask. It's not a big request.
All right. Clearly, the Mountaineer, it's an issue.
It's an issue?
Someone that I know asked, and they got snapped at.
Oh, really?
So I just went like,
oh, okay, well,
fine,
that's all right, fine. Got snapped at?
Yeah. That's what I was told.
Now I really want to know.
Yeah, me too. Clearly, the Mountaineer basketball team is cursed. Could it be the Mothman? Tony and Hoppy are experts here. How do we appease the beast and end this turmoil? Satanic ritual? Animal sacrifice? Campaign donation? I'll do anything at this point. I don't mean to make light of the more serious issues the program has faced, but if you can't laugh at misfortune, then all you can do is cry. JD from the Southern Coalfields. Mike from Oakdale writes, 3 guys with all the negative energy around our programs recently, the one person or thing that has brought more juice to the athletics department since maybe our first year in the Big 12 is Ren Baker. He's one of us. He's everywhere. He's passionate. He'll do whatever it takes. Hard to believe he's only been here a year, but he's hoping that he's in Morgantown for many more. Happy New Year to you all. P.S. Still would like to send Hoppy some samples of Kleenex. Let me know where to send.
He's never heard of that. By the way, Ren had a nice hire this week.
Yeah.
New volleyball coach, Jen Greeny. From Washington State, 8 straight NCAA tournaments.
Oh, Ren.
Sweet 16 last year, Hoppy.
Pac-12's demise, West Virginia's gain.
No question.
Yeah, he perfect.
So much of life is about timing.
It's timing. What a play that was. Hey, what's going on there? Hey, is your league?
How's your conference?
Is your really? Hey, why don't you come on over here? Play one of the best leagues in the country. Why don't you come on over here and
what was that text chain we got involved in with Ren Baker the other night? The other day?
When we were ripping your ass?
Yeah, what was that all about?
That was fun. We're just taking a shot.
Weird. What
do you mean it was weird? Why was that weird?
Just kept going. Couldn't get out of it. Why was it directed at me?
Because you weren't here.
You were a goof.
Okay.
You know what was funny?
What?
I didn't know you were on the chain until I said.
Could have been.
I said, you're right. My boy gets a lot of vacay.
I do.
I said, my boy gets some serious vacay. Then I looked later and went, oh, hell, Hoppy's.
He didn't know who was. He didn't know what was up. Well, just responding.
I do.
I got about three people that text me.
Yeah.
I don't know who they are, and I don't want to be rude and tell them that I don't know who they are. And so you just kind of give them generic stuff, and all of a sudden it grows into this long list. It's kind of crazy. Anyway. Hey, 3 guys, this is Todd.
I'm glad you didn't say that jerk. Well, I would think you would say to no, you would. Never mind.
I'll say anything to your face that I'd say to, absolutely.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. That's the stance I took with you on that.
I know.
I taunted you about what your Amari Williams analysis would have been. I'd say that to you.
Yeah.
Right?
Would. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey, 3 guys, this is Todd in Missouri, again via Preston County.
Maybe say fewer bad things about me into my face.
Todd in Missouri via Preston County. I wanted so bad for Josh Eilert's experiment to work. All the former WVU players as assistants. Maybe it will still come together. Let it be so. All the hype around the 3 players finally being eligible had us all full of hope and joy. I think we're on track after having a Cook back without these players. And didn't Kobe Johnson earn the right for significant minutes? Now he's not even playing. Is Eilert stern enough? Is this just a bunch of younger guys trying to be coach and be friends with players, or do we need a proven coach to run this program and instill some attitude? Darius Nichols sure comes to mind, as does Coach Spiker.
Hey, 2 things, Tony. One is that there, and I'm serious about this, that when the records are kept, and I don't know what's going to happen with Josh, but when the records are kept, and it has, if he's only here 1 year and it has that, there needs to be an asterisk there, okay? As the interim, and some things need to be explained in fairness to him.
Sure.
Because if you, in the future, if he's not retained, Brad, in the future, if you don't know, you're going to look back, oh, they had a bad year, he got fired. I mean, so there needs to be a more thorough explanation of what this year has been and what he stepped into.
Of all the nonsense that he's had to go through.
Yeah.
For the
Number
last
1.
6 months. Yeah.
Number 2, I had a conversation with Coach Spiker the other day.
Really?
Yeah, he invited me up to. He was sorry. He said it was classic me requesting tickets to the game and then not showing up to the game. It was fair point. But he did invite me up to one of their games in Philly.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll be right up there. Can't get you to Star City.
He said, I can hook you up. He said, I'll hook it up so you can see 3 games in one day. I said,
in Philly, yeah.
Yeah. I said, look, maybe just try to make it to one of your games.
He's warming up right now in real time.
Oh, really? He's got a game?
11 a.m. tip against Bryant.
Oh, they play education day for them?
No, he's up in Providence.
They're just doing it early.
Getaway day.
Oh.
He's up at that Providence Marriott we always used to
turn
stay
that
at.
on.
Well, it's 11, Hop. 11. You can turn it on during your game, during your show.
Okay.
Tony, we made it to the other side. I'm firmly in your camp on this. Every day now gets longer. It is reason to celebrate. I didn't know about the December 8th thing, though. Enjoy the longer days and might even need sunglasses for that 5:30 p.m. kick next week. Let's go get that 9th win. As for men's basketball, I don't know.
Yesterday was the shortest.
Yep, and now we're counting up.
Yeah.
And get out there and enjoy it. Hey, 3 guys, Bo in Somersville. Just wanted to drop this little gem.
Today's longer.
That I saw in a house last week. I asked this lady, sorry, can I be a weirdo and take a picture of your pencil sharpener? These clowns I know will love it. Hope you and your families have a Merry Christmas. There it is.
Oh, boy.
That's a nice one.
That's a classic.
That's got
Mounted, nice and sturdy.
well maintained.
And it's got the device that keeps
well-maintained.
the shavings in it. A lot of them just go straight blades.
That's an elite one right there.
and the
is elite.
shavings fall.
Plus, it's got that thing you turn, you get different sizes on it.
Oh, yeah.
Pencil.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because when the shavings fall, you got to have the waste paper basket underneath it so it can catch the shavings.
Stats, Scopes, and Hoppy. Brian from Ripley. I had hernia surgery yesterday and
Ouch.
came back home very groggy from the meds and anesthesia, but told my wife to wake me up at 7 so I could watch West Virginia. I loved what I saw from Raekwon, Kerr, and Noel Farrakhan. Noah. Why he's got a misspell.
Noah
You're still on. Hey, dude, you're still on the dope because I'm reading what you wrote. Anyway,
Also, West and Hunter.
Jerry and Rod were just terrific last night. I tell you what, Eddie came in there and he made that hook shot, and it was wonderful. If Jesse plays last night, we win. No way does Radford get that many second chances. Slazinski looked out of sorts with all the new personnel. You are really on dope because if I read this the way that you wrote this, Coach Eileen has done a great job at keeping this team together. I think it will pay off come February and March.
Yeah, he's still stoned.
Brian, I hope everything works well and the surgery goes well. Here's one to chew on. We all know that just like the politics of anything, politics ruins everything. The bowl season that used to be a highlight of my year has turned into meaningless games, not according to me, where people don't want to play. I have 2 solutions. Give the players a piece of the pie from these bowl payouts. 2, set up a format like the NIT. Use the Outback, Citrus, Alamo Holiday, and so on for a different tournament. Once the CFP goes to 8 or 12, make it interesting. Have a blessed and Merry Christmas. Let's go beat the Heels. Go 9-4. Build those hopes for next year. DJ Monroe County.
I think a piece of pie is coming.
I think a piece
bowl
of the
games.
pie is coming. I think you go out there and win. Hey, you're going to get $5,000 for winning the game.
Well, here's one. This is a new one. Hadn't seen this. Minnesota lining up for the Quick Lane Bowl on Tuesday. We'll have that one.
Yes.
Our Kyle Wiggs is in on the call. Minnesota playing in that. They get in as a 5-7 team. Quarterback says, "No, it done, boys. I'm out." Played 6 years. I'm done.
Over there at Minnesota?
Yeah, Minnesota says quarterback can't play.
He doesn't want to row the boat?
I got stuff to do. They came back, said, really need a quarterback. Can you play? He says, yeah, I'll play. Need $30K. I'm going to put it towards my wedding. They said, fine, deal. My man's playing, getting 30 large, putting it on a wedding so he can get married, getting his wedding paid for. I'll have a quarterback in there in Minnesota.
Is that right?
That's what the reports say. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So you like weird? There you go. That's a new one.
Oh.
That's a new one. My man's like, you really want to need a quarterback? Here's what I need.
PJ, I'm going to tell you something. You've been telling me about rowing your boat, I got your damn boat right here. You give me $30K, I'll play in the game. If not, take that boat and go
Lou
sink.
Wendell Marine tune. I'm going to take it right down there.
Oh, that is unbelievable.
That is incredible.
And they just cover that up in an NIL deal.
Yeah, it's an NIL deal. Got an NIL deal.
Is that
I hang big banner at his wedding, sponsored by Golden Gopher Athletics. I'm down the aisle wearing one of those shiny gold chrome helmets.
I'm going to tell you something.
I do.
I'm going to tell you
Who's
something,
got the
PJ.
juice now?
I'm going to tell you something, PJ. Take your stupid sweater vest. It's going to cost you $30.
30 large.
Tell you what, PJ. I'm going to take the $30, and you
And
can't
not
wear that.
invite you to the wedding.
Can't wear that stupid vest during the game.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, in all kidding
incredible
aside,
story.
that is where this thing's going. That's what you're going to start getting. You want me to play?
Well, you need a quarterback. Do you need a quarterback or not?
Right.
Because he was fine. He'd played his football.
Well,
He's ready to ball
but
his
you know
life.
what that is.
What's the value of having a quarterback?
I understand, but I think what that does, because we're in this new territory, that's going to create, if that starts to happen regularly, create an environment where, Brad, we're going to pay you to be the quarterback for our team this year, and that contract includes playing in all games that you're not. So that's
it. I mean, Minnesota could have said no. They didn't, right? So they didn't have. I mean, I don't blame the kid for asking that. Wants $30,000, pays for his wedding. Good for him. He's got a service. They needed his service.
But
That's the open market.
Negotiations
they had a better option. They could have said no. We're not paying.
no. I'm saying the school going forward.
Well,
the schools-
maybe. Yeah.
If the school said yes to 30, could you do 40? Tony, do your.
Hey, what do I have? 35? What do I have? 35? PJ got 35 on number 40. I got 45 in the man, and that's it. 45 coming in. 45 going once. What am I going to get you now? 45. I'm going to have 50.
Taking some money out
Now
of the bowl.
$50,000 for the quarterback. I'm going to go 55. I've got 55. What are you going to get you now? 60. Up to $60,000. Anybody for a quarterback going to play all 4 quarters? He'll play all 4 quarters. Will not play just one half. And the bid is 65 to the man in the blue. 65. What are you going to get you now? 70. I've got $70,000 for the starting quarterback for the Golden Gophers. And you get MVP. If I get an MVP, if he gets MVP, it's 75. 75 for the MVP. What are you going to get you now? I got 75 once. Sold.
That's well done.
So that's reportedly the story. I'm hoping that's true because that's a wonderful story.
That's like that thing he told you last week. I thought someone told me that.
I thought it was true.
Hey, Tony, Post Office Jonas here. I want to release some breaking news from the Post Office Jonas. I, Jonas, am entering the transfer portal. I know I'm going to get a lot of offers from post offices all over the country, but I want the downtown office on High Street to know that coming back always a possibility.
Very good.
With that said, they better be offering some nice NIL incentives to get me back. Star City will be calling. It might be hard to pass up. Daryl, Roger, and me, we'd be the Alabama of college football. Would definitely not be fair to other post offices around the world. I'll announce back here wherever I choose. Merry Christmas, 3 guys.
Well done, Jonas.
Now they're going poor.
Probably heard that I think they're going to ask for another increase in stamp prices. I think that's real, and so probably got to pay for the NIL.
Those guys all over.
Hey,
you know what? The other night,
Yeah.
who was the opponent? No, I was coming back home, 8:15. 8:15, I pull in my driveway.
Yeah.
The post office truck was delivering the mail. 8:15 at night.
They've been grinding.
Yeah.
Shout out to all of our postal carriers.
Yep.
Charlie from Midlothian. This is pretty interesting, Hoppy. I bet you guys weren't planning to have Fred Hetzel on your bingo card Monday. Wasn't that a travel when the Radford player lost his dribble and roll? No, okay, we talked about that. But Hoppy.
Yes.
So there was a gentleman at the game the other night.
Yeah.
He told me that Fred Hetzel became a big-time realtor in Virginia. That's why he was there. He was a real estate agent.
At his house.
Yeah, that's why he was there.
Looking at your indoor court.
Yeah.
Fred Hetzel having a good couple weeks on this show. You mentioned more than Garrett Green.
I'm gonna have to.
Hey, did you see the uniform release for the bowl game?
Yeah, they did
No.
on stage.
No.
So Charles Wesley Godwin, when he was performing at the Met, was playing Country Roads.
Yeah.
And onto the stage comes a Mountaineer, visor mask, wearing the jersey and wearing the uniform they're going to wear in the bowl game, had number 14 on. Then he pulled the helmet off. It was Garrett Green. That was neat.
We got a lot of things.
Creative.
A lot of things going. Hey, can I be excused?
Yeah, I was going to say,
You
you got to be getting
you getting a little
nervous.
antsy?
35, yeah.
What's your big stories on your talk program?
It's a different show. It's the Christmas show. So I interview.
So what do you need to prepare for?
Well, I got to. Unlike other shows where we just do the planning while we're live on the air, which we're not live. But
Yes, you can be excused. Thanks for hanging in until 9:30.
thank you.
You did
Appreciate
You
You
it.
did
lasted longer than I thought you would.
Appreciate that.
Lasted
They-
longer than I would have.
Oh yeah, you'd be.
I would have been on
freaking
it.
out.
I might not have shown up today to do that. Preparing for the other show.
Merry Christmas.
To you as
Merry
well.
Christmas, everybody.
Same to you, Mr. Cratchit.
And I tell you what, we're only working till noon on Christmas Day.
That email just did come in.
What's that?
We're only working till noon.
What today?
Today.
Yeah. It just came.
No, I'm talking
Wow.
about Christmas Day.
Oh. No, today they're saying they
We
just
got the
sent
Gasparilla Bowl to do later.
Yeah,
I'll see
we
you
got a
later
bowl.
tonight.
We have a bowl game tonight.
And we've got Sportsline. Who's only working till noon today?
We're here.
We're here. We're on the job.
Texter. Professor Vinny here. Looks like UNC will be without some of their top players. I'm sure you've already discussed. But in the words of Admiral Akbar from Star Wars, it's a trap. I have an uneasy feeling this might be a tougher game than some think. Maybe I'm wrong, but it always feels like West Virginia struggles against backup quarterbacks, or maybe that's the Steelers. Either way, thank you, Hoppy. I hope that Neil Brown is taking a cautious approach and getting them prepared to go out and try to win. Thinking of that, how did the likes of Nealon, Rodriguez, Holgerson, and Brown differ in bowl prep, if at all? Well, here's the difference. Rich won a lot of bowl games. Obviously, West Virginia had a string of misfortune in bowl games from 1984 until 2000. Had a little issue there.
Yeah.
Now, they played for the Natty, I get it, and they played in some high-level bowl games, but didn't have a whole lot of bowl success. And Neil, this would be what? This would be
Is this 3?
3, so he could get.
He's 1-1.
He's 1-1. Yeah, he can get 2 because he beat the Army. Hey, 3 guys, I know we're not press Virginia, but we have enough tested guys that we should press on defense and run on offense. Most teams play short benches. We need to wear them down. Currently, our opponents are going at the pace they want, and we let them. We would play better fast, and most teams can't. Your thoughts?
Offensively, I think you're going to pick your spots. Try and run a little more frequently. I think you've got the personnel.
Yeah, as for the press, I think you can dabble in it. I don't know necessarily if you can live in it because you haven't lived in it and practiced it since you started, but you might be able to speed things up at times. I don't think that's out of the ordinary. I think you got some points there. The Dennis in Augusta, Georgia. They have that golf tournament down there, don't they?
I think so.
Yeah.
Every other year.
I received my shipment of Mountaineer Munch today, and it lasted about 1 hour. I was skeptical when I ordered, thinking there's no way that it can be that good. It's just popcorn. I ordered it anyway, thinking, what the hell? I'll support a West Virginia business and try it out. It was so good that I could have eaten a 10-pound tub. By the way, the smoothie peanut butter cup is much better than the Reese's peanut butter cup. I love the show. Keep up the great
I
work.
find that hard to believe. But
I tell you what.
what's that, another brand? Smoothie's a brand?
You don't know that?
I don't think I know that.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
Smoothie.
I'll try it.
The smoothie peanut butter, off the top of my head, the smoothie peanut butter cup is a lighter chocolate and has a richer flavor.
I don't know. I mean, a lot of people do chocolate and peanut butter together, natural combination. I've not found one that I like as well as the Reese's.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's a standard in the industry. They're available at Gomart. Go for good times. Go for Gomart right now. Christmas special. Gomart offering a 16-pound Reese cup. And if you can't,
Unconfirmed.
and if you can't get it, one of the folks that work there will help wheel it into your car. Good morning, guys. I had to laugh at myself this morning. I came downstairs for my morning coffee. As it brewed, I realized I have an original Three Guys shirt with your faces. The beans are Game Day Grind, and the cup in the machine is the original coffee mug to match my t-shirt. The influence of people in branding is amazing. Before Three Guys, I had never shopped at Daniel's Men's Store. My current inventory is no less than 10 items. I also had a great conversation with Brad and Phil in early September during Brad's Tuesday morning shift and bought a few items Phil selected for me. I also never ordered popcorn before Three Guys. My wife's Mountaineer Munch is wrapped and under the tree. I had never drank craft beer before Three Guys, and after going to the can party release at the Apothecary, it's all I ask for, and I try to keep a few cans in the fridge. I'd love a pontoon boat, but as you know, 2 wheels are my thing. Keep up the great work. Sincerely appreciate all you do. I'm entertained. I'm a better informed fan, and you're clearly expanding my horizons with West Virginia businesses and products. Merry Christmas, gentlemen. Mark in Morgantown.
That's
Thank you
awesome.
so very much,
Thank
Mark.
you, Mark. Appreciate that.
You'll go full Monty, Mark, when we get you to get that face tattoo of the Three Guys logo. Then we know we've got you.
He does have the original coffee mug and T-shirt. That's a collector's item.
Yeah, that'll probably be on the eBays here pretty soon. Last one. Greetings, gents. I took my kiddos to the West Virginia Niagara women's game. Yesterday that took place. My 16-year-old is a huge J.J. Quinterly fan, and J.J. showed out as she always does, led our ladies to a 103-52 victory. J.J. had 18 points, 5 assists, 4 steals. On the season, she's averaging almost 20 a game. We came home, and I see a story on ESPN top 25 players in the women's game, no mention of J.J. at all. Unless I missed something, how is she not in that conversation? Spreads can back up the stats, but she rivals the top players in the nation. Furthermore, how is this 11-0 squad not ranked? Would love to hear your thoughts, insights. Love the show, all that you do. Wild Bill in Morgantown. So, great point. Great point. My guess is to 11-0 and no ranking is that those that rank at this point, obviously, are undervaluing West Virginia, but at this point, probably looking at overall schedule strength, although West Virginia does have a victory over a then nationally ranked team. I don't know what Penn State is now, if they're still ranked or not. But I wouldn't sweat it to this moment. You got your opportunities that are coming up here. They open up against Kansas. The Big 12 opener for them is coming up next week before the turn of the year. I don't know if it's at the 30th. Maybe the 30th is a Saturday. That sound right? So opportunity as far as JJ goes, again, yeah, it's a solid point.
You're right. Probably should be ranked at this point. You're 11-0 at this point. Put them in the rankings. Opportunity coming. JJ is fantastic. Averaging 19.5 right now. If she finishes in that range, it's in the 98th percentile nationally in scoring. So assist-wise, she's 3.5 per game. That's in the 90th percentile assist-wise if she finishes the year in that. So she keeps playing like she is. Those accolades will come postseason like they did last year.
I was at Niagara game. Niagara wanted to press and go back and forth too. And West Virginia wanted to press and go back and forth too. You talk about a stat sheet that like makes you go like, whoa. I busted that thing down. I was looking at it. There's some numbers there that you just go like, holy heck. And they're not bad. Niagara's not bad.
It's a double matinee week for the Mountaineer women.
Got the 11 a.m., they got the 2, and sent the ladies home. Yeah, they're off to a great start. And they got Kansas, as I said. So now you're going to really get into the meat of the schedule. But, I mean, you can't ask for anything more at this point. He's laid his foundation down. He knows how he wants to play. They know how he wants to play. Now you're going to go play.
They've got players, leaders have emerged, ready to go. Anxious to watch them.
Yeah, that's really, really good. All right, let's turn the music on. So next week, it's going to be different. Christmas on Monday, and then the bowl game 2 days later, and then travel day. We're going to go travel day on Thursday. Of course, you knew that. And so Friday, we're going to do this again Friday next week.
We are?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, you said you're going to the basketball game, and you're going to be in town on Friday. When are you going over there?
When's that game?
Saturday night.
Yeah. Yes.
You'll be here Friday.
I'll be in Morgantown Friday. I will be in Cleveland Saturday for the game.
So do we record Friday morning or do we record Friday at noon? Probably Friday morning to get it out there. It's going to have a short shelf life.
It is
for the highest state. We're going to recap the game, football game.
Yeah, we'll see. Stay tuned. Just like and subscribe, and it'll just show up in your feed when it's there.
Yeah, we'll be around. Have a wonderful holiday, Christmas, everybody. Behave, be safe, Be nice. And we'll find out what the Mountaineers are going to do in this bowl game. Plus, we'll have a couple of basketball games, one to review and one to preview. Three Guys brought to us by Comax Business Systems, keeping West Virginia's business data safe, secure, and efficient for 25 years. By GoMart. Go for good times. Go for GoMart. Get that rewards card. Triple rewards points on Tuesday. So if you're driving down to Charlotte for the bowl game on Tuesday, stop at a GoMart, get triple rewards points. Three Guys brought to us by Lou Wendell Marine Sales in St. Albans. They sell family fun. Visit LouWendellMarineSales.com. That Tri-Tune Avalon boat they've got, Three Guys special, it's terrific. And, of course, they do also provide the James Bond movie series with all of the pontoon boats that you see in those films. Three Guys also brought to us by the Conley CPA Group, providing value beyond the numbers. Special thanks to our producer, Austin Wright. And away we go. For Hoppy, who's had to depart, the empty chair, the unknown chair, for the Senator, thanks for being with us. Hold the Mayo. See you in Charlotte. Take care.